We have an exciting podcast today. I am super stoked about this one. In a world of cold storage where everywhere you look and turn the page, there's always a new detail.
There
And
sure is.
Oh yeah.
everyone's a detail maniac, and everyone thinks they have the magic potion to the details. And all egos aside, we got to give mad credits to our boy, Michael Cody from Ware Malcomb. Congrats on just, dude, you're everywhere, you're killing it.
Yep.
Welcome to the show, man.
Thank you guys. I'm excited to be here. Thank you. Talk about killing it. You two are everywhere. Uh, I was just saying before the show, my guys came back from a field visit and they were disappointed Freeze was not on the job.
Oh
So I thought
man.
that was ironic, but I mean
That's
It's
it.
very cool.
You
it's
guys
funny
do
how
good
you
work.
said that story when we were talking offline. You're like, these guys got back from the job and you asked them who the thermal contractor was, and they go, well, it wasn't Freeze. And I'm like, oh
Exactly.
man,
No,
which
it's
one did
good
we
to see
lose
you
on this
guys.
one?
Who did we lose? Yeah.
Who did we lose
I see,
to?
I think I get to see your guys in the field more than you guys. And it's always
I
Mm.
somewhere like
know.
Elkton, Florida, or in
Yes.
Yeah.
Dallas, or
Yeah.
With
It's
a great
exciting.
team.
it is.
We
It's
have an
fun.
yeah, we're very blessed. We have an amazing
Amazing.
field team, and they're all kind of homegrown. They're all our own people, and we teach them the freeze way, right? And
That's right.
it's cool because a guy can leave one state and go to the next job site in that state and know like this is how we do it.
Hmm.
No, that's
You
nice.
know, and it's collaborating with you guys.
Yeah.
Like, because we bid a lot of work and your name is on every drawing, and it's like,
Oh,
and we're working with the GC, and I'll look at a detail and be like, that's an older Ware Malcolm detail, but I know I know they're going to accept our change. And maybe that was like from a last job that
oh yeah.
whatever. And at the end of the day, it's like the collaboration's awesome.
No, we enjoy it too. And I know we just recently developed a new detail together. Kind of a weird one going down a
We
rabbit
did,
hole,
we
but rah
did,
rah.
we
And it was
did.
great. And it was nice because we had contractor involvement, you guys involved,
Yeah.
and our team as well. But it's a team sport. What we do is a team sport. No matter
It,
how we
it,
draw
yeah.
things, it
Mhm.
doesn't matter until it's out there in the field getting installed.
Yeah. We need to go to that job site and like video and take pictures of this detail because it's
We
Right.
never
should.
it's never been done. And it's
Exactly.
like we had to think about it. Y'all were thinking about it. The GC was like sketching up stuff, and it's like it was so fun because I
Mhm.
reached out to three of my good competitors, like my friends, right?
Nice.
Because we're all
Nice.
here to help. And I'm like, have
Yep.
you ever done? And can we talk about this detail live or no? Or
Yeah,
do you want to
sure.
keep it a
Of
secret?
course. Of
Let's
course.
talk about
No,
Or
it.
no,
should we
no.
wait and see if it works? No.
I was gonna say, let's hold the videos to see if there's no ice.
A lot of work to install,
It
but
is.
we are doing an expansion joint detail in a drop IMP ceiling lid. And on top of that, I've called my three friends. I'm like, have you ever done this? And they're like, no. A lot of them are like, no, you don't need to do that, or no, I've never done it,
Right.
or no, it can't be done. I'm like, okay, well, hold my beer.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. No, and
we
it's
should we
exciting.
should patent that thing, man.
We should. It's a good detail, and I think it's overlooked. And I know I sound like a nerdy architect because I am. But things like that are important to get right. It's the first time.
Yeah.
This project's
Hmm.
pretty cool too. They're an egg processor. They
Hmm.
process 6 million eggs a year or a day.
Wow.
And especially in these current times with eggs being all over the
Yes.
news, it's just funny to see this place and what they
Mhm.
do. Pretty
Mhm.
wild.
It
And that's what I
is.
love about this business.
Yep.
There's always something unique,
Mhm.
always something that you're learning, new food production, the cold storage, grocery distribution. You walk down these aisles and it's like, I know all this stuff. We buy this
Yeah.
stuff. It's kind of
Uh-huh.
cool. It's
It
fun.
is.
It's so cool. How long you been doing this?
I got a couple of gray hairs. I don't know if you saw them, but I've been an architect for over 30 years, but I've been
Wow.
only doing cold storage for like 10. And
Only
I
a
kind of love,
decade? That's a long
yeah,
time.
yeah, a decade. Yeah.
Just a
Well, to you
decade.
guys, that's a long time. To an older
Yeah.
guy, it's not that long. But, 10
Oh, you
years
called us
of,
young. Oh,
I did. You guys are.
appreciate it.
But yeah, 10 years of doing cold storage. And it really amped up during COVID. I had a couple of PMs that honestly didn't want to leave their basement. and we had
Hmm.
projects under construction, and we needed to
Yeah.
get out there and fix some stuff that we did wrong, I'll be honest.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we learned a lot, and over
Hmm.
those 10 years, I've really grown to just enjoy it. I really enjoy the cold storage. It's a little more complicated. I've worked on high rises, I've worked on all kinds of product type, but the cold storage is very unique, and I think it's really in touch with what people do. We all eat, some of us
Yeah.
more than others, but we
Yeah.
Hmm.
all eat
We
Oh,
do.
two,
We
three
all
meals a
do.
day, and
Hmm.
you're touching stuff that's been through a cold storage facility, be it at a restaurant, in the grocery store. It's just pretty cool. And even the food production aspect, which I'm
mhm.
getting more involved in now.
What would you say would maybe be like some of the challenges, like going from high, let's say like the high rises or things into this cold storage, temperature controlled kind of environment? Like what were some of the challenges maybe that you noticed and had to work through from the
Yeah.
designs
No,
phase?
that's a great question. Initially, it was just a whole new set of characters, right? Vince is one of the biggest characters I know. I mean,
Yes, absolutely.
different folks
Absolutely.
involved in the industry, different GCs out there, different subcontractors, different things that are important. In a high rise, obviously foundations are really important and the way you lay out the core of the building, like where the elevators and stair goes. Those are the important aspects. As far as
Yeah.
cold storage, it's all the thermal detail. It's the roofing.
Mm,
It's
Yeah.
making sure you get your thermal separations with your structure.
But they're all necessary, man.
they are.
They
They
really are.
are.
No, they are.
Because it
Yeah.
doesn't work without it.
I
No,
know.
it wouldn't.
I
But it's
know.
so much fun. And it's
Hmm.
the clients too. The clients make it fun. I think we are fortunate we get to work with people who are really focused on doing good things. So I
I
enjoy
feel
that
the
aspect of
same.
it too.
Dude, for sure. And in a world of spec buildings right now too, I think that's how we came across this special detail that you and I were talking about,
Yep.
the new expansion joint ceiling detail, because it is a double column line situation and with a future wall installed, like a pony wall from the top,
Right.
and a ceiling that goes throughout the whole building and it passes through the double column line. And at that moment of that pass through the double column line, it's like, hey, we need an expansion joint here. The building can move 3 to 6 inches, whatever, right? So
Exactly.
that was where the collaboration began
It
with
is.
us hard,
Yep.
and it was
Yep.
fun. And in the beginning, I said that can't be done. I was the guy that said this is
You
this.
said it can't be
I
done?
did. I was
You
like, this
did.
detail
Whoa.
doesn't
Did.
exist. I was so mad. I'm like, this detail is like the way it was originally shown. I'm like, well, they're just gonna fall through this. Whoever walks on that's just gonna fall through.
It's going
There's
to go
no
right through.
support there. You're just
Yeah.
gonna fall right through. And
Right.
this ceiling's 40 feet in the air, so
Mm.
it's
Yep.
a long. It's
It's
a
a
long
long way to
fall.
fall.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it sure is.
Yeah,
it
my most
was.
experienced guy with 25 years of experience says, we can't do this. You cannot
Yeah,
do it.
Wow.
Let's go back to the
yeah.
owner and just tell him we can't do it.
Hmm.
And we figured it out though. And
We
that's what I
did.
love is the challenge of doing that. And
I th
again,
yeah.
let's hold off to make sure the detail works, man.
Yeah,
But
I know. Before we talk
I
about it
know it's gonna.
anymore, but we're gonna
I
patent
know it's
it
gonna.
when it works. We're gonna patent it. We're gonna video it. We're gonna do all these things
There we
to
go.
showcase it, and we're gonna own that detail. You and I. All right.
There we go. I love it.
We
I
are.
love
It's
it.
gonna. We need to call it something though, like the the Vincent Cody.
The
Uh,
throw up boner
uh,
detail.
Throw up over detail. I knew you had to bring that out one
You
time in the
got that.
podcast.
You
Oh
told
my
me. You
God, I
gave me a
love it.
green light.
I did give you the green light for the throw up boner, and I forgot that story. I say the
Oh my God,
dumbest
that was
stuff
fun.
you
sometimes
really
at
do.
dinner. My goodness. Was that in
That was
Vegas?
fun. Yeah, and I should have kept it in Vegas, but you're right.
No, you shouldn't
It
have.
was in Vegas.
That is fair game. There's going to be plenty more stories in New Orleans at the
Oh,
Icon
it'll be
Bowl.
fun. I'm looking forward to that. Are you going to go there or Seba?
Icon. Yep.
Okay, nice.
Yep. It's just for right now with everything going on, it's Jenna and I leave to Germany at the end of
Oh,
May.
beautiful.
And we're gone
Beautiful.
for like 10 days.
Nice. What
And
part of Germany are you going to?
we're flying
Or
into
do you want
Munich.
to not talk about it? I'm sorry.
No,
No, we
no.
can.
We fly into Munich and then we go an hour and a half south.
It
Cool.
it's a hike.
Garmisch?
It's a yeah.
Garmisch
And then there's a
Nice.
hyphen. And then
hyphen Parken Schnitzel.
There you go.
great.
Parken Schnitzel? I don't know. I don't know. But man,
Got
I
it.
love it. That's going to be fun.
dude,
What a
Michael
great trip.
Cody, Ware Malcomb on the show,
Yeah.
talking all things, dude, architectural cold storage. I love it.
What would
Oh,
you
yeah.
say? Like, I always wonder too, like, as the the architect, like what kinds of mistakes do you see, developers or contractors or people who are wanting to build some of these buildings? Like what are some of the common mistakes that you see that you're like, nope, we gotta fix that?
Yeah.
It's a
I
good
think
question.
it always comes down to people trying to shortchange a detail. They're trying to
Uh,
do it cheaper. They're trying to say, oh, we don't need a double column line. Back in the day, I did whatever. And there are lots of ways to skin the cat. There's the cheapest way, and there's the right way. And it's not always the most expensive way. But I
true.
would say
Yeah.
it's mostly people trying to shortchange things. And that is the hardest part of my job because we have to balance like the developer wants to build it and sell it for X amount of dollars.
Yeah.
And in order to get from here to there, they need to make good assumptions up front. And I would say
Yeah.
that's one of the biggest challenges because at the end of the day, I don't want to chase ice around a building for the rest of my life. We have
No.
situations where we've made our own mistakes and there's
Hmm.
ice in buildings because of a detail that we didn't think through, then it didn't get executed. And
Hmm.
I own that, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
at the
Yeah.
end of the day, I've got it on the paper. So, fixing that up front is the key, I think.
That's a good point. I see too many applications where double column lines are not used when they need to be used. And then you just kind of start explaining the thermal transfer, well, the decking is going to get really cold on that side, and it's just going to transfer right over the top of that IMP panel.
Exactly.
No matter how much peel and seal and spray foam and mineral wool or bad insulation you jam up there and trim it
Yep.
out, flash it, it's cold is going to transfer right over the top. There's nothing you can
But
do.
but it doesn't
It's
help
going
that
to, yeah.
there are some manufacturers out there with a warranted detail that they say, supersedes that. And
Hmm.
I won't throw anyone under the bus because they do a lot of great things, but there are some applications at that detail that are misunderstood, I think. So, it's interesting, but
Yeah, it's everyone has their own way of doing it. Everyone has their own way of like how to handle that, skin that cat, like you said. Nothing beats a panel through the deck, right? To really
that's
separate the
true.
environment. Nothing beats that. Now
You
we don't
got it.
always have that luxury. What we're finding more, it just came up on a couple jobs where I've noticed, and you might notice it too. I'm seeing a lot more cold storage facilities being installed inside of a tilt building that's
Right.
Mm.
existing, and it's not a
Yep.
box in box,
No,
which
exactly.
I would prefer.
For
However,
sure. For sure.
I would prefer that.
Well, of
Won't work
course you
for
would.
us. So, and we do our ceilings and tees so cool. Like that's why I love them. Anyways,
Yeah.
the problem with these buildings is you run into the challenge. They lack a double column line. They might have joist pockets along the tilt wall that pose many problems in
Yep.
coolers and freezers. And essentially, what you have is a tilt building with the double column line now. I've seen jobs where they have the double column lines and they want to get the panels up and in, but
Right.
there's no room to do that because you actually have to drop it down and get it up and in. So now I'm
Exactly.
telling the GC, dude, you got to dig a trench here. We need to get the
Yeah.
panel down, up and in. And they're like, oh,
Right.
I didn't think of that. And it's like, it's either that or we're doing a stack joint.
Stack joint, and
And
nobody
you,
wants to stack. Yeah. Not if you can
but we don't
avoid it.
mind doing a stack joint
Of
because I think
course,
our stack joint's awesome.
we can do stack joints the right way too.
Yeah.
But
Have you
I
done a
see that
job
a
with us
lot
with a
too.
stack joint?
We have.
We have.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
remember which one, but we definitely have.
We can
And
talk
you're about to
offline
get
about it.
another one. You're
I
about to get
think.
another one. You don't know about
Oh,
it yet, though.
oh,
So
okay. Yeah, it's exciting.
it is.
We love our stack joint detail. I took a couple of my friends' ideas in the industry and
Yep.
I kind of put it into my own deal and we did it at a project in Georgia and it was awesome.
That's
It
great.
worked. It worked great. It's flawless. No condensation leaks, no vapor leaks. Just like
That
it
is
was so
awesome.
cool. And I got
That is
before and
awesome.
after pictures, of the whole process, and it's beautiful. And I'm like, this is the detail. This is the freeze stack joint detail.
That's right. And Vince, I
Claimed
love
it.
the way you say
Claimed
that.
it.
I love the way you say that you reach out to your friends in the industry because you know what? That is so true. Everybody thinks that we're all competitors and we're all competing all the time. We're not. We're friends. I call up my buddies, my counterparts at other
Yeah.
orgs,
Yeah.
the design build guys, the Primus
Yep.
guys,
Yeah.
all these
Of
guys.
course.
I
Yeah.
reach out to them, same thing. When I have a question, when I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, I know they've done it before. As a matter of fact, I just hired, I don't know if you know Jason Bentley with UISC.
Yeah,
Yeah, so UISC is a local Chicago
Yeah.
yeah, of
cold
course.
storage
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
contractor.
yeah.
I just hired his kid.
You're
And
That's
he
kidding.
reached out to
amazing.
me and he said, "Hey, my son's looking for a job." I said, "Well, why don't you give him one?" He's like, "I don't have enough work." So we just hired his kid and he's great. His
That's
kid
And
is
you-
awesome.
awesome.
and you're in Illinois, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in outside of Chicago. So yeah,
Okay, that is
we're in
so awesome. I
Brooklyn.
know Jeremy very well. He was actually
Yeah.
on one of my panels for Icon.
Oh, nice.
We were up on
Awesome.
stage. I think it was
Yeah.
me, Josh Cronin. Was it? It was Josh that time or no?
Thank you.
But it was Mike Jones. It was
Oh
Gary
yeah.
O'Donnell. It was Gary O'Donnell, Mike Jones,
Oh yeah.
and Jeremy.
Yeah.
Who was the fourth? There was a fourth. I don't remember, but I got to be
That's
the
cool.
moderator.
All good
I didn't
people.
have to answer the hard stuff. I just get to ask the hard stuff.
That's right. That
That's,
was just this last year. I
it
was
Yeah,
was.
just this last
I
year
It
that
I
went.
was.
I was just in awe of you while you were up on stage. You know,
Mm.
I kind of get, starstruck a little sometimes. So
I appreciate that. I'll send you your Venmo for saying that.
There we go.
yeah.
Appreciate
I got to get one of those teal hats. I think I have a black one with the like brown
it.
leather.
Mhm.
Oh
Those are
yeah.
sharp hats. I like those.
I'll
I
bring the
like.
teals. I'll bring the teals to New Orleans.
All right. All right.
That
That'll
I
fit in
will.
well down there.
Yeah, you betcha.
I agree. I think what you said about friends in the industry, I asked other people, like, have you ever worked in another industry? Like, did you experience this same kind of collaboration when you were working in like more residential or high rise or anything like that? Like, or in a different industry, I guess, in general. I don't often hear that.
I
This is
would
very,
agree.
it feels very unique
I
to,
would agree.
yeah.
I do not remember reaching out to my counterparts when I was doing high-rise multifamily
Mhm.
and like
Mhm.
sharing stories or learning from each other. It was a
Yeah.
lot more competitive. I see this, I don't know why, it's more like a family kind of there are only a few players in this market. People
Yeah.
don't realize the contractor pool goes down, the
Yeah, yeah.
subcontractor pool goes down. And you always get scared when a roofer who said, "I've never done cold storage, but I'm going to do this job," shows up on the job site. And you're like, "Okay, dude, this is what we got to do. We got to spray foam and I'll
Oh yeah.
literally
Oh
Yes.
walk the
yeah.
job with
Yeah.
them as they're doing it because otherwise you're going to be back peeling back the
It's
roof
scary, I
and
know.
dealing with
Yes.
things. It is
I
scary.
know. Yeah. No, it is. It really is. And then like they'll put it in our contract to like also work with them to make sure they're doing their scope right. I
That's
get
got
that
to
a
be
lot in
fun.
our contract. It's
Oh,
good.
I'll
Like, oh,
bet.
okay.
In your contract. That's
I'll work
great.
with the roofer. Yeah.
Sure
No,
thing.
it's all good.
Well, you're right. It's a team effort. So I get it because we all have the mutual goal
Right.
at the end.
Right.
So it makes sense. But yeah, I really do feel like it's unique to our
It
industry
is.
and
It
I
is.
feel very blessed to be a part of it.
Yeah. So you
No,
guys are
very
kind of
cool.
a household name in the cold storage architectural side, and y'all, everyone knows who you are, and met a lot of your colleagues at like random events and trade shows, and I'll see like the Ware Malcomb, and everyone's super cool. And I'm
Oh,
just
they're
like,
fun.
if I want to build something, I mean, you guys are probably getting phone calls left and right from new people that are saying, "Hey, we want to build this. Can you help us design it?" How does that process work? How do you go? How do you go from cradle to grave at Ware Malcomb?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. I think, first of all, I have a lot of good people that I work with. I have great people, great partners, people all over the country, which is really the strength of Ware Malcolm. We've got 28 offices, including
Wow.
Sao Paulo, where we have to go to Sao Paulo, Brazil sometime. Um,
Wow,
I know
man.
that'll be
So
fun.
cool.
Well, I tell you what, a certain very large cold storage producer is planning a project down there, so I will be going down there in the next couple of months. But
Do you need
um,
me to go to help?
Yeah, do you
I
need
think
help
I
on
think you
that
got to
trip?
come to do a site inspection
I would agree.
and then maybe a landscape inspection afterwards. We call
Yep.
golfing landscape inspection
Yes,
because it
landscaping.
sounds better in the office.
It's,
But seriously, I have a lot of great people that I work with, and that really makes it easier because when I'm being introduced to a new developer, it's like
mhm.
we already have street cred, right? We've already
Yeah.
done stuff with them. Maybe they haven't done cold storage with us, but I've got this cold storage 101 that I walk developers through or contractors who are new to it and just
Hmm.
talk about the different unique aspects of cold storage. And then, work with their client ultimately what happens is the developer really gets out of the way and they put it in the hand of the contractor and us that know the cold storage, and they
Mhm.
kind of just apply their development tactics to the land deal. So it's really helpful because it's not like a simple spec industrial building that you can pop up and anybody can do it in their
Right.
sleep, and there are people competing like crazy.
Hmm.
So it's just a different animal.
It
And I
is.
will say, my experience, my dad was a general contractor. So I grew up in the
Okay.
field. I grew up swinging a
Okay.
hammer back in the
Yeah.
day. And that really taught me how to interact well with general contractors, trades. I worked for my dad's roofer for years. I've got, a lot of different aspects of experience that I would say are more beneficial than going to college for architecture. Honestly, I think
Yeah.
every architect should do some field time. Too many architects have
I
no
love
idea what
that.
they're doing when they're out in the field. So it
Mm,
really helps. I apply that every day. I
I
Mhm.
mean
believe
that.
that.
It's pretty cool. So
Mhm.
That's what we did. We hired a new assistant PM, and the part of the training was, hey, you're in the field for the next 4 months.
there you go.
You got to
There you
learn
go.
it. He's been in the industry, he knows the industry, but he doesn't really know the ins and outs of what we do, right?
Yeah,
And you learn so much being on site, not just you learn about how the building's built from start to finish,
for
right?
sure.
You're moving
For
dirt,
sure.
you're pouring footings, right? You're setting steel. Okay, what the decking's coming on. When can I set panels? Is the steel
Yep,
lined up? You start learning all these things, and I think it's important to understand scheduling the most. What is
definitely.
it? Don't put the cart before the horse type
Right.
thing, right? Like don't
Right.
lock yourself in. You learn all that stuff when you're in the field.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. There's
You
It's
do.
so many
valuable.
aspects of what we do that you learn in the field, and there's no replacement for it. And I always tell people this is where we make our money. It's not built, drawing drawings. It's having things get executed properly. And
Yep.
that is
Yes.
where we make our money. There's a company here local in Chicago, and I know they're all over the country. It's called Waste Management. They're garbage
Okay.
men.
We've heard of
Yep.
that.
My buddy
Yeah.
started there as an accountant
Hmm.
15 years ago. His first week was on the back of a garbage truck. They
Okay.
teach everyone that way, no matter
Hmm.
your level. When they hire you,
Really?
you spend a week on a garbage truck. And I think that's
Yep.
awesome
I love
because you know
it.
what? That's where their money is made, is out there on
Yeah.
the streets picking up garbage. So our money's made making sure that buildings get built right. And I think that's important.
That's really cool. Besides the really cool special Vincent Cody detail that we're working on right now, has
I like
there,
that
what's your
trademark.
like
Can we go
favorite?
Cody-Vincent? I mean, alphabetical's better, right?
Yeah, I do like Cody-Vincent. Yeah.
Cody-Vincent.
It kind of sounds like, nah,
It sounds like a
It
band.
does.
That'd be a good name for
it
a
does
rock
sound
band.
like a good band, actually. I don't know. It sounds like a band.
Cody-Vincent band.
The Cody-Vincent band.
Cody-Vincent.
The
Maybe
Cody-Vincent detail.
your wife could come up with the intro music.
Yeah. Yes. Maybe
There
your
we
wife could
go.
do the
I
music.
love it. She's gonna.
It's a
All
little
right.
jingle.
We'll send you
And
some
then,
stuff.
yeah, we could spend 30 minutes talking about that detail at the next conference on
Oh, I know.
stage to everybody
I know.
and charge admission.
Exactly. Exactly. That's
We got
fun.
to make money on the job somehow, right?
You got that right.
Yeah, that is too good.
Yes.
Well, I was going to ask you that. What is your most like impressive cold storage project you've ever done, or your favorite one,
Or
unique,
your coolest
or
one.
your coolest one?
You know, I listen to your podcast. I love when people answer this. And I just think it's fascinating. Each one is fascinating in and of its own right. One of the coolest ones I've done recently is for Monster Energy drink. It's AFF, American Fruits and Flavors,
Yes.
out
Oh
Hmm.
in
yeah, yeah.
California. And it's just so cool, not only from the cold storage aspect, but just their processing and how they take chemicals that are fairly dangerous. They actually have to be stored in hazardous material areas because they're
Yeah.
hazardous in the high concentrations. And then they mix up their special sauce and make Monster Energy drink. I just think their whole operation, top down, is so cool. And it was a fun
Awesome.
project. It really turned out really nice, and people were really happy with it. So I
Good.
love that.
Well, that's amazing.
That's very
But yeah,
cool.
there are so many. And then, the size of them too. Some of these are really, really tall. Obviously,
Sure.
that's where the stack joints come in, but
Hmm.
and then the grocery distribution is fun too. But Monster Energy drink certainly was fun. Uh, up
Do
until
you?
this morning, I had planned to say the next project is my favorite project.
Hey,
I like that.
that's my favorite one.
I like that. You guys have
God,
interviewed some cool people. It's a lot
we
of fun listening to your podcast. I
we've
really
had a
enjoy it.
lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been super interesting because we learn something with every new person that is in the guest seat.
That's cool.
We
That's
get the
cool.
opportunity to learn about them and, their experience in the industry and
100%.
how they see it
Yeah.
through their point of view.
Let's get to know Michael Cody more. What do you do when you're not in the office designing details and changing the world in cold storage? What
Oh,
what
hell
do you
yeah.
do? What do you do for
So I was saying earlier, my wife's a musician. I love live music. We love live music. So
awesome?
gone are the days when my wife goes on at 11 p.m. and I'm there at the show. I'm a little getting a little too old for that. But
Okay.
I do love going to see live music. Any kind of live music is fun. And
Do
then
you
we,
have a favorite spot in Illinois that you guys like to go to?
it's usually the bars downtown Chicago, but
Yeah.
there are some Buddy Guys is a great place. Buddy Guy's an old blues musician, and I have an affinity for blues music. And then there's some old jazz clubs in town that are pretty cool too. Vince, next time you're in Chicago, we're going to go to a very old jazz bar, the Green Mill.
The
They're a
Green
famous
Bill.
place. The Green Mill. Yeah.
Oh, the Green Mill.
Bill.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
That's
it.
pretty cool. Yeah, that and we just recently bought an old house on a country club, built in 1919. So of course there's a ton to do in the house. So there's a
Yes.
lot of
Great
work going.
bones. Great
What's
bones.
Bones.
good bones.
Good
Exactly.
bones.
Oh yeah. But yeah, it's fun. So I
That's
work on the
fun.
house.
Hmm.
And I'm about to be a grandfather, so I'm excited about that.
Oh,
I
yeah.
got three kids. They're
Congrats.
all out of the house. Everybody's
Go.
making money, so
Good.
stuff.
Your
But yeah.
kids in the
Congrats.
business at all or no?
Nope, none of them. I beat it out of them. I beat it out of every one of
You will not draw in
No.
cold storage.
them.
What do they do?
So my youngest is a teacher down in Alabama. She went to University of Alabama and she's teaching right outside there. Of course, she
Very
met a
cool.
boy in Mobile, which
Yeah.
Mobile, Alabama.
Mobile.
I don't know why I say it like
My
that.
middle lives actually up in the mountains outside of Golden. I think I was telling you about her when we were talking about your house. But
Okay.
she's a software engineer, so she's just programming way above my pay grade head. I don't know.
Yes.
She's in AI. I've heard
Oh
of
my
AI.
gosh, yes.
I don't know what the hell it is, but yeah. And then
I
my
think it's
oldest,
what makes you coffee in the morning. No, just
I
kidding.
think so. I think so. Oh, that's my wife. She does that.
Yes.
Uh, and then my oldest is in like finance. He's a
Yeah.
financial guru, so he's in the markets, but
Oh,
we spend a
cool.
lot of their money. It's all good.
Yeah. That's
Whenever the market
exciting.
tanks, I always text him, Shift F10, dumbass. Sorry, you'll probably have to edit that out.
No, we
Hopefully.
No,
won't.
no.
No,
Good.
this is
I
a
hope not.
completely wide open, fun
Yeah.
Awesome.
conversation. I mean,
PG.
I like
Awesome.
it.
No.
I like it when our guests have no edits. I mean, but then we will have shows where like it's literally, hey, can you edit minute 18 to 20 out, please? And then 24 to 25 and a half. Like, and I get it. Like some of the stuff's like, okay, I understand now.
Ah,
No, it's pretty much wide open.
that's fun.
That's
Good.
what we do.
Well,
We
that's
run
what
it
I
wide
love about
open.
it too. You guys are every time. I tell you what, I've listened to your first podcast up until your most recent, and
Oh
it's
wow.
pretty cool. It's amazing. I feel like I've learned a lot from the people that you talk to too.
This episode is brought to you by Iceberg Mechanical, a nationwide leader in commercial and industrial refrigeration solutions.
From design and installation to service and maintenance, Iceberg Mechanical delivers reliable, energy-efficient systems for cold storage facilities coast to coast.
Iceberg Mechanical, keeping it cool every step of the way.
This episode is brought to you by Fastener Systems, Inc., otherwise known as FSI.
Serving the entire cold storage industry, FSI is your go-to source for high-performance fasteners and thermal supplies.
Built to last, trusted by pros. Let's get to work.
So it's
Thank
fun.
you. And it's wild because this industry is small and it's growing so much. We're like Jenna's walking the floor at SIBA reception, and all of a sudden, like a gentleman turns around and goes, "Hey, you're Jenna. You're on that podcast," and like
Yep.
no idea who they are, and it's like it's really cool to meet new people through
Yes.
that platform.
It's been really,
It's a good segue to like have someone at a reception come up to you and say, "Hey, blah blah blah," and like it's something you can kind of, you know,
it's new conversations, new
chat
connections.
about, new
Right.
connections, talk, and
Yeah.
it's fun. I love the
No
industry. I
offense,
love the
Vince, but
people.
everybody wants to get to know Jenna. It's not you.
I know, I know. That's
And
why.
she's also the brains of the
Well,
operation. Everybody
I know.
knows that
See you
too.
later.
Oh yeah, no, we know that, dude. Our whole office knows that. When Jenna walks in the office, like everyone's like, "Okay, the boss is here. Boss is
Hey
here."
guys, what about me?
Yeah, no, it's great.
No, that is
She can
cool.
have it.
You
She
guys
can
are a
have
great
it.
team too. You guys are a real good team. So it's great.
We work together every day.
That's
Yep.
awesome. What is
In the
that
same
like? That's
office.
got to be hard. And I don't mean to turn the tables and ask questions of you
Yeah.
No,
guys.
you totally can.
That's got to be difficult to spend so much time together. How do you turn it off?
Tequila? No. Tequila?
I think if I had not, so my degree is in psychology, and I
Well,
am
that
and
helps.
was, and I guess I still am a therapist.
Mhm.
And I think had I not have gone through that experience and, you know, building that knowledge and that lens through which I look at the world, I don't know that this would work.
I can only imagine. I mean, I think the psychological aspects of what we do, first of all, you're on a roller coaster all the time.
Yes.
You either have
Yes.
more work than you can do or not enough work to keep everybody
Mhm.
busy.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
that is a constant. So I liken it to being on a roller coaster.
Yes.
So
It
having
is.
somebody that can help you deal with that and manage that, that must be huge. 'Cause that took me years to get comfortable with.
Well, yes, and
We're
for
getting there.
we're working on it, yes. But it's I've also had to become comfortable with the fact that there is no caught up. I'm always like, I can't wait to get caught up. I can't wait to get caught up. I need to get caught up. And I was like, oh, there just no longer is caught up. It's just there's always something to do.
Yeah, there's no cut up.
There's no caught
There-
up.
I have like so many red flags in my my outlook, and I'm like,
Yeah,
I gotta do
yeah.
that, I gotta do that, I gotta do that. Oh, I
Oh,
still
yeah.
need to do that, and it's like it's just we're busy, and it is what it is.
But to answer your question a little bit more in depth, I think working together, I think it's knowing when to press each other's buttons and when not to.
Yeah.
And that is a hard
see that.
lesson to learn. And
Yeah.
I don't think because early on, like when we were early on married, not working together, we just press each other's buttons all the time, right? That's what you do with your spouse.
Part of being married.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's part of it. But
When's dinner gonna be done?
But now with the business and everything, I see those moments and I'm like, ooh, I want to push that button. But I'm like, I'm not gonna do it right now.
I know if I do, there's gonna be
Right.
this is gonna
We
happen.
know we know the outcome of that push. And so I'm like,
That's
push that button right now.
Ah,
But
girls.
I can imagine that helps at some point too, because you know enough about each other. Like, okay,
Yes.
we'll talk about this later, or I'll shelve this till
Yes.
tomorrow, or whatever.
Yes. And I
Yeah,
think
that's awesome.
that's why it works so well is
Yeah.
because we really operate from that lens now
Yeah.
of like, okay, this isn't going to get resolved at this
Yep.
moment. And
Yep.
it's not helping, it's hindering whatever the process is that we're trying to figure out or whatever we're trying to solve. So let's table it. We'll come back to it. And
Oh, yeah.
I used to not be able to do that. And so I think my training really helped me as a person be able to be like, it's okay if we don't solve all of these problems on our to-do list right in this moment. We can come back to it.
There you go.
Yeah.
So,
If it wasn't for your education in that arena, we would fight more.
Yeah.
100%. We share an office, but that Michael, I'm not even kidding. Like there's days where like we share an office and we're 15 feet apart. However, we might share 5 sentences to each other the
I
entire
can
day
imagine.
because
I can
she's
imagine.
off doing all the crazy logistics of behind the scenes
he
stuff,
doesn't.
Right.
and I'm doing all this stuff over here, and it's just like,
You're
and
dealing
at
with
the end of the
wacko
day,
architects.
yeah,
Yeah.
and we drive to
Yeah.
the office separate, and we'll drive
We
separate
drive separate.
That's
to the
smart.
office most of the time, and all of a sudden, like we'll get home from work at different times, and like it's just like we look at each other like
That's
exhausted.
good though. Do you find having that separation from your office to your house is huge? Because like, do
Oh,
you turn it off or
huge.
does it continue once you're there and you keep talking about work?
It depends because we like to strategize a lot. So
Got
we
it.
have what I call my hot tub board meetings where I'll go in the hot tub and
There you go.
then we're in there together and we at that point we just
That's
start
where we do all our
we
brainstorming.
brainstorm a lot. Like we
Nice.
talk about the business and how can we change and what can we do better, and we talk about our people and how we can train them and be better, and um
What can we do for them?
what
How
can we do
make this
different?
company,
Yeah.
How
know,
can we
all those
change
things.
the way for our guys in the field to either feel more appreciated or have an incentive program, or do we just talk about all these crazy different
Nice.
ideas? That's what we do.
Nice.
It's a brainstorming box.
So, yeah, so the
Yeah, it's
to-do
not crazy at
lists.
all. That's what makes a business. So that
Yes,
is so
yes.
cool. Good.
And I think it's good to leave those to-do lists at the office,
For
right?
sure.
Yeah.
And
sure.
give so like our home space is generally, I mean, we will work there after
Of
tech, but
course.
that's generally where we do our board meetings and where we do our brainstorms.
There you go.
And so having the separation 100% is because when we first started the company, we shared an office in a bed. It was like a second bedroom in our
Oh, yeah.
house,
Oh, yeah.
you know. And
So,
then
yeah,
even when we moved the company here to Texas, we had team members coming to our house. We were operating out of our house because we were
That's
just trying to figure it all out, right?
That's right. Oh,
And
yeah.
so there was no separation then.
Right.
And so then you're working way beyond when you should be working,
I-
right? No balance.
That is my problem. I cannot
Yeah.
work from home because of that. I
Really?
just cannot turn it off. And it's like,
Are you at home now? Is that
I'm at home right now.
That's a
Yeah.
cool office in the
I
back
like
there.
Oh,
that.
yeah.
I
Thank
like
you.
all those
Thank you.
books.
Yeah. And I have a wife at home. She just popped in.
Love it.
Love that.
But yeah, you guys were in Southern California initially,
We
right?
were,
Weren't you?
yeah.
Newport or where?
Rancho Santa Margarita.
Rancho Santa Margarita. Believe it or
Yeah,
not, I've heard that.
yeah.
There was
Yeah.
a cold storage deal there somewhere.
Yes.
It almost happened. It did. I don't
Oh,
think
yeah.
it ever
Yeah,
happened.
that's what it was.
It
Right.
almost happened,
Yeah.
and it was like where I worked before. It was like that. It was like literally a block and a half away.
That's
I walked the
awesome.
building and everything, and it
Yeah.
just never happened. It was unfortunate. We got a PO box in Trabuco Canyon. Remember that?
Trabuco Canyon.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we would. I don't know why we did that because I'd have to drive like 15 minutes through this little canyon to this little tiny PO box, like U.S. Postal Service.
That was part of
It's
your
like, why did
therapy. You
why
didn't
did we
even know
why
it.
did we do that, right? So
Yeah.
we start the company and we're like, we're waiting to get our first check from the GC, and I'm driving. I'm like, and then it's not there. And
Yeah.
it's like, oh man, it's
The
like the suspense.
Yeah.
Well, we're
Good
headquartered
times.
out of Irvine. You probably know Ware Malcomb is headquartered out of Irvine, so I get
was
to
gonna
go
ask you
come
that.
out a lot, which is
Mhm.
fun.
Mhm.
We were just in Lido Island, which is a pretty cool place. We did some
Okay.
leadership training down there, which is something, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Ware Malcolm. And I love the fact that they get everybody, all the leaders from all over the country
Okay.
into the same room. And we
Yeah.
do it 3 times a year, which is huge.
Wow.
That's amazing.
There's, it's like you say, you got to strategize. You got to take time out of the business to
Mhm.
think about what's next and where you're
Yeah.
going. And, it's not always extremely fun reviewing financials and everything else, but hey,
Yeah.
got to do it.
You do.
You do.
It's necessary.
How many offices are there for Ware Malcomb?
28. We've got 28 throughout the country. We've got 3 in Canada, 2 in Mexico, and 1 in Sao Paulo. So we're going to go to Sao Paulo, you and I.
I gotta check out that office.
I
Yeah.
think we got it. We got
Yeah,
it.
research,
agree.
obviously.
This is
Exactly.
Brazil.
This is the
That was my visual.
periods.
Yeah. So 3 leadership trainings a year,
What
28 offices.
hold on.
And there are like 90 of us. They fly 90 of us out there for like 3 days.
What
And-
was your biggest takeaway from your last leadership
Let's go.
All right.
retreat?
So we call them advances because retreat sounds negative. I don't know why
Okay.
people do that. It's kind of dumb, but yeah.
I never thought
think
about it that way.
The
Why does
biggest
retreat sound dumb?
Negative.
No, because you're going backwards. It sounds like
Yeah,
you've lost the war
retreat,
and you're
like
leaving.
you're retreating.
Oh,
We're
well,
gonna
yeah, I'm
advance.
retreating from work. I want to go.
There you go. We're going on a retreat. See, I like that too. But our biggest thing,
Advances.
we're going to double the size of the company. So that's what our objective is, which is a pretty tall order when you're 700 architects and 200 million a year. And we've got a strategy to do it. And it involves mostly taking good care of our people,
Yes,
expanding
it
into
does.
some different markets.
It
We're doing
does.
some technology platforms too for folks. And Kroger is one of our clients now. We're fortunate enough to be working
Yep.
with Kroger on several
Yes.
projects right now. You'll probably be seeing some drawings coming out. And we host we have a real estate platform where we host people's sites and we host all their drawings to keep accurate current drawings on this platform that
Okay.
is a technology platform. So we're starting to push that out. And bigger companies are thinking, well, hell yeah, why not? Granger, they don't have all their drawings of every facility they have throughout the country and North and South America, believe it or not.
Right.
So this hosting concept gives them a platform to put all their drawings on and keep things organized. So that's a
Sure.
technology aspect that, you wouldn't think architects would do, but we're also doing some other cool technology things with our like building platform. Revit is a drawing software that we
Sure.
use.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
we've automized a lot of that. And
Wow.
they're easy things that we can do, but
That's
it's
what I was
fun.
going to ask you about. What technologies do you see our industry, using or getting into, or I mean, really just cutting edge materials, right? Like, what do you see any like cutting edge material? You probably get a lot of calls from like the IMP guy, the
Oh yeah.
material suppliers, the door guys, that, right? You're going to get the Ritex calling you and the Wylands and
Always.
everyone, right? So like,
Right.
what is there any cutting edge technology out there that you know about that you're excited about?
There's always changes in the market, but I'm
Hmm.
not one of those to chase the new stuff until it's kind of more tried and true. Even
Yeah.
with like a custom detail or like a certain joint that's going to, revolutionize the industry. Well, let's see it get out there and let 10,000 forklifts drive over it, and let's see how it holds up in the
Oh
slab
yeah.
or whatever
Sure.
it is. But there are
Yep.
some, the shrink comp concrete is always huge. I think there are a lot of advancements with that. Some of the, thermomass, which is probably the worst word I can say to you guys. It's a insulated concrete tilt panel. We
Sure.
just finished a job in Garland, Texas,
Hmm.
and it's horrific. So I don't want to use it ever again. IMP is the way to go, baby. So
Hey,
We will
I
eventually
try to tell you all that.
we
I
know
try
it.
to tell you all
We know
that.
it.
I know. I know.
the benefits of
I
this
know.
podcast.
Feeling you, man. Yeah, I get it. I was indoors. I sold ASI Enviro doors for many years.
That's right.
Um, and it was always cool to see that back then, the technology of doors when I started in 2005 to like now is like when I first started the first 10 years, it was like rapid growth, right? You had the bifolding big clear plastic things that would fly open with the heat lamps, and
Right.
then you'd have like a high-speed roll-up door with the heat lamps, and it took as much electricity to run a city as that one door opening with the 36 kW heaters on, right, blowing on it.
Right.
Technology's changed.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
The insulated door, insulated high-speed doors, right? All those guys coming out with new technologies. I love the new technology, maybe the double roll-up door, and in between the vestibule of the door, you're moving warm air, right? So it's
Yep.
like a little mini air door with
Yeah.
two high-speed doors, right? So
Yeah.
there's all these really cool things that are happening that I think is cool. As of right now, I haven't seen really anybody make them. In the last 5 years, I haven't seen anybody make like a big change in doors.
Mm.
I would agree. I haven't seen any really, really big changes in the industry in the last 5 years. I mean,
Hmm.
there's something coming. We don't know what it
Oh
is.
yeah, I'm
Food
sure.
production, there's a lot of cool stuff with equipment and the way they
Yeah,
do
I
Oh
the
yeah.
imagine.
packaging and all this other stuff. That's constantly changing. And that's difficult to keep up with, but
Hmm.
it's pretty cool. I think, obviously with some of the stuff that's going on in the world today, we're going to see some new things happen. So I'm excited. And that's the
Yeah.
great part about what we do. You never stop learning, right? Like you keep
Right.
keep learning all the time. I've heard other guests
Yes.
say that, and
Mhm.
that's why, I've got a little ADHD. I don't think I would like going to work and being bored all day and then coming home and turning on the TV. Yeah, I think a lot of us do. I
Yes,
think
and
a
there's
lot of us
nothing wrong
do.
with that.
Come on now.
We've
But
harnessed it. Well,
but
maybe we
yes, and
harnessed
there's
it, but
enough to keep your attention, right? There's enough new and different
exactly.
things going on that you stay engaged, you stay excited, you can refocus when you need to. So
It's true.
that's very
I was going to ask you like a technical slash cost question because I find it interesting if like a customer comes to you and says,
Hmm.
"Hey, I want to build a 300,000 square foot cold storage food operation, food service company, if you
Yep.
will. This is what I need square footage wise. Like, I don't want to spend more than $100 million on it or whatever. Can you help me? Where do you go from there? How do you like peel back the onion there to like get him
Yeah.
to his goal? Or do these guys come to you and say, hey, this is what I want to do. How much does this cost? How much do you think it's going to cost? Do they do that
Yeah.
too?
We do. We get asked that a lot, honestly. And I think
Yeah.
any architect that answers cost questions is a fool, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah, exactly.
there are so many factors that go in. It's where is it? What's the location is key,
yeah.
right? Like I think everything outside of the building is a wild card because all that
Yeah.
site work, which is where the majority of your money is spent, is the site
Hmm.
work. The building, I tell them a range. I say
Yeah.
you're looking at between 200 and 250 bucks a square foot with
Hmm.
refrigeration, no
Yep.
racking, done
Yep.
deal. And that checks out across multiple, locations
Sure.
and building types, but it's a broad range. You could drive a truck through that $50 a square foot, right? So I
Of
like to
course.
avoid that question and use that question as a tool to help extract what exactly they're looking for. Because if you want multiple temperature zones, if you're, looking for food production, there's a
Hmm.
bunch of wild cards there because you have pressures to think about. You have to pressurize or evacuate, the air out of the building. There are just a lot of
Hmm.
aspects that go
Sure.
into food production that are different than straight up cold storage. So
Yeah. Are you working with them on what type of refrigeration system is going to be best for
yeah,
them that you think?
yeah,
Do you answer those questions too?
we do. We have a little, working with our partners like Alta, Innovative, and all the dozens of others out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have leveraged their skill sets and really, developed a set of tools to help people make decisions, right? It depends on where they're coming from. Like
Mm.
what system is the best is not always right for everybody, right? Like there are different systems. People want a turnkey solution. They never want to touch their system. That's a different discussion than if they want to have an on-site, ammonia refrigeration engineer that's going to be on site and monitoring the facility all the time. I always tell people the best system to go with is ammonia, but that it comes with a lot of baggage, I'll say. So there's
Hmm.
some environmental regulatory concerns. There's on-site
Sure.
people all the time. But
Yep.
it depends on what the facility is going to be used for. The turnkey
Yeah.
solution with Alta, that's the way to go for a lot of folks.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are more solutions out there. And
Heck yeah.
again, the thing I do best is leveraging our partners, reaching
Hmm.
out, engage a contractor and say, hey, they've asked me how much this is going to be. Here's what I told them. Can you narrow
Hmm.
that range down?
Yeah, of course.
And making those introductions early is
Yeah.
key.
And like total sidebar to that point, like I would love it if like your team too, like if we can find a way to collaborate more on the front end stuff. Like if you guys run into something like crazy you haven't seen before and want to bounce an idea off of
I love
me or
it.
something, dude, I'm all in on that stuff. I love that
Well,
stuff.
you're
I'm
gonna you're
in.
gonna hear from us more because
You
the
can.
experience that we had with that one detail.
Hmm.
And hey, I want to run something past you. We got a 3D printer in the office. We're going to start printing some 3D details of our cold storage details.
Oh,
And we
cool.
thought that could be a cool technology meets, decent
Yeah,
application of it. Because I
that's
think
so
just
cool.
showing people how a detail works is way
Yes.
better than just drawing it, right?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Having something printed with a photograph and,
Mhm.
getting out in the field and really looking at how that column is standing on that isolation block before they pour the concrete. I mean, there are a lot of
Great
details that
idea.
go into what we do. So, we're starting to think of
Yep.
printing some of those details, and I think it'll be a good teaching tool. So I'll share them with you when we get going.
That's a really good idea. Is
Mhm.
that going to be in every office or?
We have, I think, 20 printers throughout the country, so
Wow,
we'll see.
cool.
It'll be
Like
fun.
that. You're answering all my technology questions.
Mhm.
Oh yeah,
I noticed.
that's because I'm a dork, Vince.
So am I.
This is true.
Swear. So am
This is true.
Ooh,
Mm.
it's you.
Ooh, okay.
Uh-oh.
If you could design your dream cold storage facility, you have an unlimited budget
Yep.
and
Yeah.
resources. What unique features would you want to include?
Oh, awesome question. Awesome question.
Yep.
Unlimited budget. I
Unlimited
mean,
budget.
that is, I think some of what New Cold is doing in those low oxygen environments, I think that's cool stuff. And I think
It's
that's
really cool
coming
stuff.
soon. I think it's super cool. They're huge environments. They basically suck the oxygen out to the point where
Hmm.
a fire cannot start.
Yeah.
So you don't even need sprinkler systems.
Mhm.
I think things like that and doing applications, whether it's cold storage or even food production in those types of environments, I think that's going to be the future. And talk about an unlimited budget because that starts with like talking to the fire department, convincing them they don't need sprinklers in a building. The first time you mention that, you should see some of the funny looks I get from guys
I'm sure.
Oh,
wearing uniforms that fight fires every day. They look at me like I'm out of my mind. And then
sure.
they look me up on the internet to make sure I'm actually an architect and not just a psychopath. So, but yeah,
Just
I think something like that is the coolest. And I'm glad you didn't ask me about designing a house because I never want to design my own house. I think that'd be horrible.
It's
'Cause
it's
my
awful.
opinion changes every day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Dude, that's so funny. We had a nice gentleman on from Wagner talking low ox. It's awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That
that
was
was
interesting.
interesting technology and how he explained the oxygen level in that room is actually more oxygen than on a pressurized cabin
In
of
a
an airplane.
in a
And I'm
plane.
like, I don't understand. I'm like, but I could start a fire on an airplane, but not in that room. And I honestly got to listen back to it because he explained how that worked.
That blew you away. I
It
remember
blew.
listening to that one.
I'm
That was
like,
awesome.
huh? Like, dude, that was
Right.
wild.
Super interesting.
It is super cool. And just the other day I was on a plane, I forget, or I was coming back from California, and I
Mhm.
was thinking about that discussion that you had
Yeah.
about how much oxygen is in that little tube. And I'm like,
Oh,
this
yeah.
is weird. This is
Oh,
why I
yeah.
can't run a marathon here. And
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a
Yeah.
minute. How could you
I
run a
can't run one.
marathon
I
in
can't
a
run one
plane?
Can't run one
I can't run
anyways.
one anyhow. Exactly.
Yeah.
But what a great question. Thank you.
Yeah. I need to learn Colorado better with the elevations. I don't do good in high
You
elevations.
don't.
I really
No?
don't.
Do
Like,
well.
I just don't know why. I'm like, I can't breathe as well.
Well, it's the drinking that you and I do. I go up there and I think I could
No,
still have 8 beers like I do in the Midwest. I can't. You cannot. My friends
that's
are like, dude, slow
different.
down. Dude, slow down. My fraternity brothers. Watch it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah.
Slow down for what?
I know. That's what I say. That's
Turn down
exactly
for
what
what?
I know. For what? Man,
I
for
know.
what?
Dude, that's
More
funny.
of a fun question for you. If so you can choose. If you had to pick a theme song for your role or your company, what would that theme song be?
Every day I'm hustling.
Yes.
Hell yeah, I play that song. I
Dude,
call
that's
my
awesome.
associates when we close a deal in Miami, and I'll
Yeah.
play that. And I get some strange looks at 8:30 in the morning, like, what the
Dude,
hell are
you
you
are my
doing?
spirit animal.
That's awesome.
I did not know that about you.
I love that song. I
You
love that
are
song.
my spirit animal.
Love
And
that.
the funny thing is, so my son's 31. He used to play that song banging loud in his car when he was pulling onto our block. And he would just turn it up when he turned on our block. And I used to hate that song. Now I've adopted that song as my theme song. It's my
I
walk-up
love
song.
it.
Dude, that's epic. Is that what we're gonna call the
That's
episode?
calling the
Every day I'm
episode.
hustling.
You just gave us the episode
Every day
title.
I'm
Permission to use that as a title of the episode. Every day
I
I'm
love it.
hustling.
Every day I'm
So
hustling.
good.
I love
That's
that.
good. Do you want to share anything else about Ware Malcomb or yourself while we have you?
You know, I just I think people get a bad perception of architects. We have a lot of fun. We
Yeah.
go out and you know what? We have a great time when we go to these leadership meetings. We go out to dinner. It's great to meet people from our Mexico City office and go out and
Ah,
party with them. You know, we have something in the background. We have a Teams channel that's called the Liver Killers Club. It's everybody who's not a principal at the company. And we're constantly posting the stupid shit that we do and the fun that we have. You know, we take it seriously when we work, but we like to have a lot of fun too. So,
Man, that's
and
the
I think that
key.
pretty much sums up my life. Took me a
Yeah.
while to discover Ware Malcomb. I've only been here 9 years now, but it's pretty much how I've operated in a strange architecture world for my whole career. So it's fun.
I love that. You need to have fun. Literally on my LinkedIn banner, my thing is there's no reason this can't be fun.
No.
Exactly.
That's it. I
That's a
want to
good-
have fun.
That's a good
Same.
motto. You know what? When you stop having fun, you got to do something different because
Exactly.
Yep.
I wouldn't get up
exactly.
every day and go bust my ass if I wasn't having fun. I love what I
Exactly.
do.
I
It's a lot
know.
of fun.
It's
But
gonna be hard to retire ever.
I don't see it for me.
I
I
mean,
mean, honestly, I've got a lot of friends who are retiring now because they're plumbers and carpenters and
yeah.
their knees are shot. They're physically
Yeah,
can't do it
absolutely.
anymore. I don't see that for me. I can always get up and go annoy people at work. It's what I
Yep.
do best.
Yeah, that's it.
That is what Vince is good at too.
Come on. See, spirit animal. Spirit animal right there.
Look at
I
that.
love it.
Look at that.
That's so cool.
No,
Well, how do
it's
we
fun.
find you? How do we
Yes.
or
How do people
Oh,
Malcolm?
I am at waremalcomb.com, mcody at waremalcomb.com. And I'm all over LinkedIn, NIOP. You'll find me. I'm an old man. I've been around for a while, so it's easy to find me. And yeah,
Very cool.
I love that. Can I harass you with my this and that questions?
please do. I was looking forward to these.
Oh gosh.
Here we
I love it. Good. This is my favorite part.
I love it.
We're gonna know a lot about you right now, all right?
That's right.
Pizza or tacos?
It's Chicago, man. Pizza.
There you go. Wait a minute now. Thick crust or thin crust?
Thin crust.
My
Everybody
man.
thinks it's deep dish. Thin
No.
crust
Thin
is
crust.
the Chicago pizza.
That's what's
And
up.
yeah. It depends on if you like sweet sauce or the different sauces.
Mhm.
Everybody has their own pick, and they're
Yes.
usually not in nice neighborhoods.
That's what I'm talking about. All right, beach vacation or mountain getaway?
Mountain getaway.
Are you a morning person or a night owl?
Mornings, but my wife is not.
Love that. Concert or a sporting event?
Concerts.
Yeah, I knew that before I did.
Oh yeah, that was
Coffee
coming
or
up.
tea?
Coffee all the way.
Camping
Coffee's
or
life.
staying in a hotel?
What's that?
Camping or staying in a hotel?
I'm gonna go with camping for me, but if I'm going with the wife,
Yeah.
which is the only reason I'd be going, we'd be in a hotel. She's not a big camper. You guys
No
camping in
kidding.
Germany? Are you guys
No,
camping in Germany?
no.
I didn't
Nope.
think
Nope.
No.
Ricola.
Glamping. No, yeah, exactly.
Glamping. Yes, yes.
Glamping, glamour camping. No.
Mhm.
All righty. Ooh, this is a good one. Superhero power. You ready for this? Ability to fly or invisibility?
Invisibility. As an architect, dude, I gotta be invisible sometimes.
Fair. Touche. I like that one. City life or country life?
City. I'm a city boy. I love the city. Country's too quiet for me.
Agreed. Oh boy. Let's do quick decisions or thorough analysis.
Oh, quick decisions every day. Not always good decisions, but the quicker the better.
I like it. We have a new one to end this. It's the
boy.
greatest sing-along song of all time. Is it Don't Stop Believing or Friends in Low Places?
That's a hard one, man.
I
I'm
know.
going with Don't Stop Believing because I'm a White Sox fan, and that was their theme back in
Yes,
the
it was.
day when they did the World Series. So yeah,
Don't stop
don't stop.
believing.
And
It's
eighth
funny.
grade all day
Yeah.
for me, man. I know that was like ancient history for you guys, but this is eighth grade. First dance.
And let me tell you, I think the difference between those two songs is I start to really think about it when I go to bars and I go out. I
Uh-huh.
realize like because I was just in Vegas for it was like a cold storage thing. And
Yeah.
we went to Jason Aldean's, and that is
Oh, yeah.
like one of the coolest bars. Live music all day.
Super cool.
Awesome, right?
Love it.
But they're basically just country singers singing cover songs and
Yeah.
random other songs, right? Like
Yep.
so I realized that Friends in Low Places is played in like the middle of the night during a set, and everyone sings along to it. Everyone's
Yeah.
getting into it, right?
Oh yeah.
And then Don't Stop Believing, I feel, is played at the very, very end of the night. Last song,
Oh, yeah.
everyone's hammered and sings it awful.
That's right. That's
But
right.
they both are great sing-along songs.
They really are. And the wife and I have spent a lot of time in Nashville, so of course I got friends in low places
Yeah.
is a theme song of mine as well.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
but I gotta go with the Don't Stop Believing.
Do you know the third verse of Friends in Low Places?
I doubt it. I will
I doubt it.
if I'm drinking and singing along.
The secret third verse is my favorite. It's not really a secret, but
It's not.
It's not.
Not anymore.
it's good though.
Mhm.
It's really
What
good.
is it?
I'm not going to tell you now, man.
I gotta look it up. All
You
right.
gotta look it up.
You got me. You left me with homework. I love it.
There is a cuss word in it.
I love it. I like it.
Yeah, I'm not going to sing it. I'm not going to torture our guests with that.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah.
They've listened for years. You don't want to turn them off.
Yeah.
Bad enough they had to listen to me.
Yeah. Come on, dude, you
This
killed
was
it.
so fun.
This is awesome,
Thank
man.
you.
This is
I was
awesome.
waiting for tequila or beer, and I was going to
Tequila or
go
beer?
with whiskey. Whiskey.
Ooh,
It's got to be whiskey
Okay,
all day
what
long.
kind of whiskey?
Oh, it's got to be bourbon or
Mhm.
rye. Depends
Mhm.
on the night. But yeah,
What's
not
your
even really
favorite
whiskey.
bourbon?
Do you have a favorite brand?
Do you have a favorite bourbon?
It's not even the nicest, but Bullet. I love Bullet bourbon.
Bullet's solid.
It's
Bullet's
fun. It's a good one.
I'm an Eagle Rare guy.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. I like
Mhm.
that.
I do like
that.
Eagle Rare.
I like
Yeah.
trying different things though. It's
Yep.
like different alcohol is fun.
Mhm.
And then as far as beer, I'm a PBR and hams guy. So I know that's like low budget, but always good.
EBR is the best.
I
That's
know.
awesome.
Club.
I know Vince
Did you
is a
watch?
wine
Did you
guy.
watch? Did you? I love wine too. I'm
Yeah.
a tequila and wine guy.
Good for you.
Did you watch the show Landman?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Is the best when he's at the bar and he's drinking Michelob Ultras.
I
And-
love it.
And he's like, I'll have another beer. It's like it's 6-1. The guy's like, you're driving. And he goes, there's no alcohol in this. He's like, yeah, there is. He's like, no, there's not. He's like, yes, there is. He's like, I tell you what, you give me 6 whiskeys and talk to me tomorrow versus 6 beers, and I'll let you know which one has alcohol in it or not.
There you go. I love
I'm like, yeah.
that. was a great
Fair.
line. Great.
That entire first season was awesome.
Oh, it was really good. It was really good.
Yeah.
There's so much good stuff out there right now.
Mhm.
It is wild.
There is.
Mind blowing to know like if those stats in that show are real about the petroleum and oil stats and how we have a 100-year reserve left and that's it, or 120 years, whatever, and how
It is
everything
crazy.
we use has
Yeah.
petroleum and oil in it.
I know. I know. It's amazing when you learn how much is involved in that. It's nuts. It's
It's
cool.
evolved a lot in our industry. Think about
It
it.
really has. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
spray foam and making the metal coils and
Oh yeah.
everything that has oil or petroleum in it.
Yep.
Refrigeration
Yeah.
equipment, I'm assuming, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Easily.
So
Cool.
it's everywhere. All right, Michael Cody, Ware Malcomb, dude, thank you so much for being on with us. You were unbelievable. Dude, we're excited to see you the rest of the year.
Thank you,
real,
guys.
Real quick, what conferences are you going to so people know?
I am going to NIAP.
Mhm.
We have Icon down in New Orleans,
Yep.
and then I'll be at SIBA
Mhm.
and GCCA. So
Awesome.
all 3 of those.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Are you going to Icon in Arizona?
Yeah, I'll be at Icon there in Arizona too.
Perfect.
And what
Awesome.
about Toronto? Are you going to NIAP in Toronto?
I am not.
I got it. I'm excited
I
to go
am
to
not.
Toronto.
I what I say like that, like
Why-
that's going to go.
Not going to
What?
go.
I'm not going
Hey,
to go there.
You don't want to hang with hosers. Is that it? You don't want to hang with them hosers?
Well, no, I don't want to go up there and get my Wisconsin accent back, you know?
We could drink some Molson.
Oh yeah. Some
Ah, yeah.
Coors Lights.
Hey there. Yeah, hey there.
Yeah. No.
We're bad impersonators.
We're
Yes.
we're actually very offensive.
You got to practice your German. You got to practice your German.
Poor Marco. We just had Marco on the show, and my favorite Canadian of all time. And we do this. I do that with him all
Love
the time. And then
Marco.
he starts going into the.
Oh yeah, he can
Marco's
do
a
it really
beauty.
well though. He can do it really well.
He can do it so well.
Well, yeah,
Wow.
he's
He was
from
born there.
Well, yeah, he's born there. God, he's one of my favorite humans too.
Awesome.
He's awesome.
He is.
Well, my man, dude, you are awesome.
Thank you guys
Excited
very much.
to have everyone listen to this, and those that have listened, thank you so much.
Yes.
You guys, please subscribe to the podcast on YouTube. Hit that red button, and then we are on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Mhm.
Listen to us there, and we're on all the
socials.
and we're also on all the social medias. And dude, that's it.
Till
Michael
next
Cody,
time.
the man. Thank you for being on.
Cool, guys. Thank you guys for having me. Take care.
All right,
Have a good
see ya.
day.